Welcome. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional.
And I'm Mel West, your business advisor. Thank you for joining us today and every Tuesday from noon to 1 for BizTechTalk, where we're hosting discussions with local and national business leaders.
Throughout our show, we're going to be talking to a variety of high-tech and business professionals about the latest technology and business trends which are happening today and coming tomorrow. And we've been doing that for quite some time. Aren't you having a lot of good times here this last 6 months there, Mel?
Well, it's been fabulous, and I'm looking for the future and just being able to bring the latest technology and business trends every week. So it's fun.
Right? It's
and
awesome.
We're learning a lot. So it's a win-win.
I can't believe how many national guests we've been having. Last week we had Symantec Corporation on here, Dan Nader, who's talked about mobile security and protection, way to protect your phone, protect that iPad and all that kind of thing, so that we are not exposing ourselves to hackers, cyber thieves, and those kinds of things.
Well, and he also talked about network security, and I think that really opens up the discussion of the BYOD.
Yeah, bring your own device, my friend.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just going to allow us to continue to have that conversation about ways that businesses really need to start thinking about protecting themselves and their proprietary information, and have policies and procedures in place that will not only allow them to do things more efficiently, but protect them.
Oh, we also learned one of the biggest things. It's not about your technology. It's really about educating your people, because the most vulnerable spot you have in your entire organization are the education of your people. Will they be a victim of social engineering, which can open up passwords and provide for easy access to internal resources, those kinds of things. And so, yeah, that was one of the things we learned last week. And, we'll continue to strive to help people to modify their behavior.
Well, and that's a lot about what this show is about, educating, bringing different business and technology formats to the forefront so people can learn about some of the different things that they may not think about otherwise.
Yeah, and in keeping with our theme and so forth, most of you folks out there who've been listening to us will understand we're all about veterans and veteran-owned businesses and trying to do what's right for our community to help those veterans who served our country, and they're coming back. And you all know that they are looking for employment, and they well deserve the opportunity that you can provide if you have a business and you're looking for somebody to help you grow your organization and to get to that next level. There's one thing that you can always rely on as a veteran. They know how to get stuff done. Well, that's politely said, I think.
Well, it's very politely done, but I mean, they bring the leadership, the team, the team ability to fit into a team, really the diversity, because they can fit into any surrounding.
And they've had the opportunity to just go out there. Here's a job. I need this task, and they don't need a lot of direction. They just need, and this is the goal. This is what we want to accomplish, and these are the parameters that we have to deal with. Now go out and get it done. And you can be assured that 99% of the time you're going to get that job done. So, right. And that's what's really good. So if you have an opportunity out there and you need a task done or a service performed, look for a disabled or a service-owned business and help them by seeking out their opportunity to let them provide services to you. And that's not trying to give them a handout, just a hand up, and let them earn that opportunity from you, because they don't want that handout. We all want those businesses to earn the opportunity, just get that opportunity, get in line, and be a part of the process.
Very well said, Darrel. And I think, let's talk a little bit about our upcoming executive forum this evening. We've got our guest, Tom Pierson, here today, which you'll introduce here shortly. But we've got our executive forum, which is going to continue our conversation this evening at the Garfield Bookstore in Parkland. And we're going to be talking about building communities and growing business.
Yeah, and today Tom's going to talk about a little bit about that, and give us a little bit about what the chamber is doing. So I really do think that, in a couple seconds here, why don't we take a break, spend a few moments paying some bills, stuff like that, and then we'll come back and we'll have a nice long conversation with Tom. Don't you think?
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, so, we're right here. I'm Darrel Bowman.
And I'm Mel West, and let's go ahead and take a break. You're listening to Clay 1180.
Thanks for joining us on every Tuesday from noon to 1 on 1180.
CloudSway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. CloudSway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. CloudSway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. CloudSway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
Hi, Georgia. I heard the pipes burst in your office and you have to rebuild everything. Are you able to take care of business?
Bob, the flood was a minor hiccup. We are rebuilding, but thanks to our partnership with MyNetworkCompany.com and their office in an Icon Cloud solution, we work from anywhere at any time. With access to all of our applications and customer data, I never have to worry about expensive backups, hardware, or complicated servers. We are more productive now than ever. Plus, we turned our capital IT purchases into monthly operating expenses with a worry-free IT guarantee in the process. I recommend you call MyNetworkCompany.com today.
Few things say more about your business than the quality of the photos in your ads and on your website. Corporate photographer Rick Dom specializes in custom photography for discriminating corporations around the world and right here in Tacoma. Rick's photos have graced the pages of Forbes, Fortune, Barron's, the Wall Street Journal, and the marketing materials of a host of great American companies. Companies like yours. See what Rick Dom's photography can do for your business on the web at rickdoms.com. RICKDAHMS.com.
AimBiz.com brings you the life of a business website. The majority of business websites can't be found by search engines, so their owners lose customers and money. An AIM Business website wins new customers on Google and Facebook. Imagine your website with great content management, an integrated blog, clean designs, and clear messages. To top it off, at AimBiz.com, you get a free website design mock-up before you ever spend a dime. For more information, go to AimBiz.com. That's AIMBIZ.com.
Hey, welcome back to BizTechTalk. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional.
And I'm Mel West, your business advisor.
Hey, we're here every Tuesday, noon to 1 on Clay 1180. Visit us at BizTechTalk. Listen to our shows, download our podcast, and email us with your comments and suggestions at info@BizTechTalk. Today, we're having a great opportunity to meet with Tom Pierson, the president and CEO of the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber of Commerce, and he's been there since June of 2011. So, he hasn't been there a long time, but he's making a lot of inroads. So previously, Tom was the Federal Way Chamber of Commerce Chamber president, and he was there for 8 years. He's also a very passionate advocate for business and a very resourceful leader who thrives on innovative solutions and a relationship builder. He strives to develop and support creative partnerships and initiatives that not only strengthen our local economy, but build a strong community for the future, which really is all about business and, about our topic today, building community and growing business. So thanks for joining us, Tom. It was really a pleasure to have you here.
Absolutely. Appreciate being here. Very honored with all your national guests. I feel it's great that you brought us in. Just got back from the Capitol, so it's
fantastic.
Almost like a national speaker. But
we're going to want to know a little bit about that. We're going to want to know a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We brought back just about 30 leaders to Washington, D.C., met with our senators, representatives, and went to the Department of Commerce.
Did you meet with Gary?
Well, no, he wasn't there. So.
Okay.
But no, just had some great trips. Went to the Pentagon, and I know you
cool.
had somebody from the Pentagon here not too long ago, and had some great meetings. Really talk about not only JBLM but the ports and our businesses, transportation, all sorts of issues that surround Pierce County businesses here. Locally.
Oh, fantastic. What are the big, besides 167, we all know that's a big one coming out there. What are the other initiatives that are out there that are leading the charge for growing business here in our community?
Absolutely. Transportation, obviously 167, but the interchanges on I-5, that, whether it's Thorn Lane down here or others that adjoin our base, is a big piece for not only getting folks in and out of the military, but also freight mobility.
Oh, yeah. We've got to get those trucks up and down the roads really cleanly and not having to jam up traffic.
Yeah, and as the port continues to bring up new shipping lines down here, it's a big deal. It's how we can get the freight off of those ships and into commerce.
Well, Tom, thanks for joining us today. Why don't you start off by just telling us what is the role of the Chamber of Commerce, and what do you guys do for the community?
Absolutely. The role for the Chamber is really about creating a strong local economy and we do that in a variety of different ways. I find that every business has some different needs, but really it kind of boils down to 5 different needs that businesses have. Newer the businesses, networking referrals is a big piece. As businesses start to grow, they care about, is that sign out in front of them? Is the sign ordinance affecting them? So making sure that we're representing business interest within government is a huge piece. And that could be city, county, state, and federal level as well. But then it expands into the promoting the entire building community. And that can go to transportation, could be education, could be the stuff that we do with JBLM.
So what about education? You mentioned that. What are you doing specifically with regards to education? How are we helping out in there? And
Absolutely.
what can we do as citizens to help out as well?
Yeah, I mean, you have multi levels. I mean, you have K through 12, huge piece. We talk about entrepreneurs. How do we grow entrepreneurs? We need to start with K through 12. But then you look at our community college, technical colleges, and then our 4 universities. We have a huge opportunity here in Pierce County in terms of being a growing innovation, but innovation doesn't create jobs. Entrepreneurs grows jobs, and so we need to really link those two together.
Now, haven't you guys just started an initiative to really focus more on education?
Yeah, we have. We're working on it, and one of the things that we were successful in is really through the legislative session in terms of getting some funds there's funds available for TCC, Tacoma Community College. They have a new building they're putting up, as well as
what's that building about?
It's on the medical side.
Oh, very cool. So nursing and physician's assistant, things like that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But there's things with urban waters that University of Washington Tacoma is working on, as well as WSU.
That's all green technology, anything to clean up the water kind of thing, right?
Absolutely, yep. And if you look at what are the needs worldwide from water is really going to be the space. And so I'm excited about being on the forefront of that.
Oh, yeah, and it's really nice that we've actually got that right here in our own backyard. And I don't think there's another place like that in the Pacific Northwest or on the West Coast, is there?
No, not that I'm aware of. And it really links education to that research and then back to business. So it completes that circle in terms of making sure that we're incorporating that tech transfer out to our businesses.
The last time that I went to D.C. with one of the chamber trips, it's been a few years ago, we visited the Center for Marine Biology out of the University of Maryland. And I think this Urban Waters is a twin, so to speak, of that. They cleaned up their their waters over there, and this is kind of a model. I think because Dr. Joel Baker, who are sitting dean there for the is it the chair? What do they call that? Anyway, he came from the Center for Marine Biology, and so it was really awesome that we have somebody that can bring back that national reputation and help us grow our community in the urban waters area.
Yeah, he's cutting edge. I mean, nationally, internationally on this, and so it's great to have him here.
So how do we work with those economic drivers besides the urban waters and the communities? How are we working with the Port of Tacoma? What initiatives are we dealing with there locally?
Yeah, Port of Tacoma, I mean, they've got a variety of issues. One of is harbor maintenance tax, and it doesn't really drive from an economic standpoint other than it's a tax that every container pays coming out of the port, and it's $150 per container, which adds up to be a lot on those big ships. Where ports in Canada aren't paying those, and really that tax goes to dredging of ports. Well, guess what? We don't dredge ports here.
We got a deep water port.
Yeah, so those dollars are going to Savannah, some other ports where they have to dredge, and it'd be nice to use those dollars as infrastructure and helping build roads and other things.
So you're thinking about if we're going to collect those dollars, let's redirect them to the area that they need to be, who are collecting them. So it's sort of like our taxes for the Sound Transit and so forth. If we're going to put that, collect those taxes in those areas, let's collect those taxes and put them to work for the people that collected them.
Absolutely. I think the number they say is we get a penny out of every dollar that we collect. Yeah.
That sounds very familiar to when we had Leon from New Way Trucking on and talking about, they only get 2 or 3 cents on the dollar for everything.
Oh yeah,
they ship.
he can do a whole truckload and make $18. I mean, that's really ridiculous. By the time he's paid all his fees and so forth, you've got to do a lot of trucks to eat at night for that one. So we're behind you on that. Any way we can do to cut those costs and help our businesses succeed, especially since I understand we're growing the port with some container ships that are going to. We're looking for some plans to take on the world's largest container ships, are we not?
Yeah, we're set up to do it right now. So we brought in one of the largest ships not too long ago, just a few months ago, and to make sure that we can accept those ships. And other ports are building so they can. We want to be at a place where we're doing it today.
I think I saw Dick Marzano do a presentation last week where he talked about the ones that are going to be built that are even wider, bigger, and much more. Capacity is huge beyond what we have. Well beyond what we currently have.
Yeah, and what these companies look for is how quick can they empty those ships? You know, do they have to turn those ships around to empty out the other side, or can they just empty them once they pull them in, as well as getting the trucks to pull those out of there, or the rail to pull it out? And our rail's right on the water, and that's a huge advantage.
Now we've got a lot of water out there. You know, I'm on the Tacoma Waterfront Association, and we've got 46 miles of water out there. What are we doing to help with that economic growth? There's a lot of. What is the chamber doing that they can help out to grow the vitality along the water and bring that jewel that is only Tacoma?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, it's funny. I was in a meeting a few months ago with a lot of local folks. You know, I'm born and raised around here, and so many of us are. And there was somebody in the meeting that was from Arizona, and she asked, "What's the top 5 things around here?" And we all talked about the port, JBLM, all these other things that we talk about, but nobody said the water. And it's just so
natural. She was in the wrong meeting.
Yeah, she was exactly. But it's just so natural for us. You know, we just assume it's there.
We take it for granted.
Yeah, where other people say, "Hey, this is a huge piece, and it's a jewel that we need to make sure that not only it's an economic driver and an engine, but also a resource for people to go visit and
recreate.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, we don't have any signs.
Well, speaking of
we need some signs. That's a whole new
Tom, you're
new
a diver,
topic.
right? I
Yeah,
mean, you've
absolutely.
spent a lot of time out there diving.
I've done about 400 dives.
Oh, really?
Out there, and I do all cold water dives, so I know what it looks like underneath the water, where most folks just look at it from the top side.
Oh, fantastic! We'll have to talk. I've got my gear and stuff like that. I'd love to go down again under here. It's been a while since I've had a nice dive, but you know, we've got some great stuff around here.
Yeah, do
So
a
now,
drift
Tom,
dive
you
under
were
the Narrows.
You were talking a little bit about the pillars, and we kind of broke off there at education, but what are some of the other components?
Sure, political action is a big piece. I think we talk about building community. You know, it's networking referrals, strengthening the local economy. Those are the key components, and everything that we do in the chamber really revolve around those and filter through those. Did I get to the fifth one? I guess the fifth one would be the is really our lobby work, or the piece in terms of our educating elected officials.
So is that part of your potential candidates academy that we're talking about?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
I appreciate you bringing that up. So we want to do a political academy, and what I find is that people who run for office usually are passionate about one or two things, but they don't necessarily understand the full picture of where business sits within the community. And even elected officials that sit in office today, you know, a lot of people want to look to businesses to tax them, but businesses pay a large portion of our taxes. They pay for our roads, our police, our fire. And taxing them is going to probably put them out of business, and therefore you're going to have even less tax.
Because they're going to move somewhere else.
Or move somewhere else. And so we need to really get rid of the impediments around businesses to help them grow, so they do pay pay additional taxes, not necessarily a larger percentage, but they'll pay taxes by growing.
Because they grow more, they can pay more.
Yeah, and then we'll have better roads. We'd have more police and more fire, and it's a circle if you really look at it in terms of how we support them. And so our political academy really is about how to train people to run for office, but I also want them to get to know who our businesses are. And we're not some evil empire. We're all corporations. Doesn't make us evil. It makes us, you know, we care about putting food on tables for families, for individuals, and then supporting your community.
And the fact that they know the more about the community, you know, so many people go in on one platform. I'm going to go in on education, so to speak, and then they don't really know about all the nuances of the public works, the utilities, and the parks, and everything else that goes along with becoming somebody who's involved in politics.
Absolutely, and we should care about those things, but
yes.
We need to care about the entire community.
Now, talking about the community, the last legislative session, you guys had some significant wins for the Pierce County community.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working in the legislative arena for over 20 years, and I would have to say this is the best legislative session I've ever been involved with. Over $100 million is coming back to Pierce County. Now, I'd like to take all the credit for that, but I'm not a politician, so I won't. We did some great work, but what happened was the entire delegation and the entire community really came together to really lobby legislature and educate them on the needs and what we needed here in Pierce County. So it was great, and you'll start to see those things start to happen.
Now, who's
soon.
on your legislative team?
We have Michael Trans, who's our lobbyist for the state side. We have Mike Weinman, who does a lot of our local and county things. Gary Brackett, he heads up our whole group. And then David Schrodell, he does a lot of city work.
So they carry a pretty heavy burden on their shoulders then for the Pierce County area.
Yeah, I mean they do a great. I mean there's hardly any meetings we're not involved with, and that's the great thing about the work that we were able to do. A lot of our and it's interesting from a business standpoint. A lot of our new businesses, they don't really understand the impact that's happening for Pierce County in a positive way, because they want to make sure they want to do business. They want to meet those new members and get business in. But as business grows, our businesses start to care more about that.
Now, we had a business that is headquartered here in Tacoma, but couldn't do business in Washington State, but could in many other states.
What's that?
Yeah, it's Maricord. They're it's a debt servicing company. And they do. I think they have 48. They work in 48 other states throughout our country. But because of a Supreme Court ruling, they weren't able to do business in Washington State.
Is that a Washington State Supreme Court then?
Yes.
That's weird.
And it got caught up in some other legislation and other pieces. But what is amazing about it is that this one piece of legislation, which is really hard to get past, Senator Derek Kilmer and quite a few of our Pierce County delegations really took this piece up and got it passed, which the net of it is 80 new jobs in Tacoma.
So now they can do business on our state? Is that what you're saying?
Yep. And this is a company that's highly regulated by the federal government, such as a bank and institutions like that. So 80 new jobs.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty significant. Now, how do we prevent something like that happening in the future?
I think the best way is, we didn't know anything about this when it was going through. And so I think just letting us know, we're in the capacity of being able to affect a lot of different things. So we need to hear from our businesses when they have something and they're getting in trouble like this.
Okay. Well, that's great. Why don't we go ahead and take a break here? And when we come back, we'll pick it up where we left off.
I'm Darrel Bowman.
And I'm Mel West, and you're listening to Clay 1180.
CloudSway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. CloudSway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. CloudSway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. CloudSway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
In today's economy, doing more with less has become the standard. Feeling overwhelmed or out of control does not have to be part of that standard. If you are looking for improved profitability and better teamwork, West Business Concepts' expertise in sales, organizational development, and finance offers real-world solutions today. West Business Concepts helps you develop clarity and focus on who matters most. Gain an edge over your competition. Visit westbusinessconcepts.com today. That's westbusinessconcepts.com.
Join Clay Radio's BizTechTalk co-hosts Darrel Bowman and Mel West at the BizTechTalk and PLU School of Business Executive Forums. If you own or manage a business, you're invited to participate in a discussion of today's business and technology trends. Find out what's hype and what's not. Meet new peers. Discover new opportunities at the BizTechTalk Forums the third Tuesday of each month from 4:30 to 6 p.m.
On May 15th, Tom Pierson, president of the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber, will discuss growing profits and building communities. Space is limited. Register now at biztechtalk.net.
Tacoma's waterfront. A unique local asset providing recreational opportunities, jobs to support the local economy, and a safe haven for marine wildlife. The Tacoma Waterfront Association is dedicated to promoting Tacoma's waterfront. Join the TWA at its popular monthly meeting to learn more about Tacoma's waterfront and how you can be a part of making it great. Join the TWA on the second Wednesday of each month from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Center for Urban Waters to be a part of the community's strength that's making a difference for Tacoma's greatest asset. It's waterfront. For more info, visit TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org. That's TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org.
In Pierce County, 17% of residents are food insecure. That's 1 in 6 people who are unsure where their next meal is coming from. Someone you know is going hungry. What can you do about it? Help support Fish Food Banks of Pierce County. For every dollar received, Fish's 8 food bank locations can distribute $7 worth of food to families in need. To learn more about stopping hunger here in Pierce County, go to fishfoodbanks.org. That's fishfoodbanks.org.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional.
And I'm Mel West, your business advisor.
Hey, we're here every Tuesday, noon to 1. Visit us at BizTechTalk. Listen to our shows. BizTechTalk.net, by the way. I got to make sure that net's in there. Listen to our shows, download our podcast, and email us with your comments or suggestions. We do want to know what you're thinking out there. So we're at info@BizTechTalk.net. And today we're talking with Tom Pierson. We're talking a little bit about business. We're talking about growing business and building community. And so, Tom, one of the things we talked about during the break was, what is the Chamber doing to grow community and branch out into the other parts of Pierce County rather than the downtown core? What are you doing those divisions and so forth?
Sure, and just so maybe your listeners know, we're Tacoma-Pierce County, and I always like to emphasize we're a Pierce County Chamber and not just Tacoma Chamber. We are headquartered in the downtown on 9th and Pacific, but we do have 2 other divisions currently. We have what we call University Place Fircrest, and otherwise kind of known as the West Side Division. And then we have the South County Division that incorporates Spanaway and out that way
Quite a ways all the way up on the mountain.
Yeah, I can I'm
Eaton.
I was going to name all the cities, but we might be here for a while.
We'll be here for a long time.
But those divisions are really, they're part. If you're part of the South County Division, you're part of the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber, and they really they're unique to themselves, but they're also part of the bigger picture. So we want to have chamber luncheon at South County. We want to have a chamber luncheon at Tacoma, at UP Fircrest, but it's a way that we can branch out into those communities better. But we're a regional chamber. There are some great chambers here in Pierce County that are local chambers. Lakewood's one, Gig Harbor.
Fife is another.
Fife, Milton, Edgewood.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things going on there. This way it allows us to actually, from each of those chambers, get a chance to integrate and work with the other people into different locations and get to know them, because you don't know what kind of business and opportunity you'll find in the other location because you're getting used to the same thing all the time. This way it spreads your wings a little bit.
And that's what I always say to business. You have to decide what's your needs as a business, and then decide what association. Is it the countywide chamber that you want to be involved with? It is it local chamber? Could be a technology, Washington State Technology Association or something like that fits better within your needs. But you need to figure out what your needs and what your goals are before that's going to benefit your business the best.
Speaking of technology, didn't the chamber for many years have a tech committee? Where is that today? What's going on? Do we have any status on that? I haven't heard about it for a while, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I've been here just about 12 months, and so we've had some discussion about some different clusters. The Economic Development Board has been working on some cluster work, and one of those cluster works is in the cybersecurity. And so we've had some discussions about, how do we pick that back up? Is it something that we should pick up? Is it a piece that we should be focused on? We've got the tech conference, some other things going on.
The tech conference was the thing I think that we were talking about.
Yeah, and the tech conference is still around, and we're involved with it.
South Sound Technology Conference, that's what it was.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Well, hey, that's awesome. I think, Mel, you got a question?
Yeah, I think kind of the direction of the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber. I think it's driven by the board. Kind of what's the board's vision, and then how does that play into your vision?
Yeah, I think the board's vision is that it's I guess along the line of the fact that every business has changed in the last 5 years. If they haven't, they're not here, unfortunately.
They've changed.
Yes. And so, we need to keep up with what our needs are in today's economy. And the board realizes that, and they know we need to adapt. And either we're going to be a relic or we're going to be relevant. And I choose relevant. I don't know about you guys, but I always think that's a better way to go. So we've changed quite a bit. We've had a new website, new logo, new tagline, which all doesn't buy you much of anything, but I think it starts to put some new pieces. I spent 3 months when I started here asking businesses, what do you want and what do you need from your chamber? And because ultimately my job is to serve my members.
So what were the primary answers you received when you asked those questions?
Primary is 1, voice for business, and then 2, small business. What are you doing to support our small business? And which is a great fit for me because in my previous job, we started up a small business incubator. And my passion is with those small businesses. I think those entrepreneurs, if you look at who's going to grow this economy, everybody says we're going to, from a GDP standpoint, we're going to lose our status by 2040. So how are we going to do it? It's entrepreneurs growing our small business.
And then keeping those small businesses here. That's one of the big things that we need to work on. Is we've had so many people move out of the local community up to Seattle or Federal Way or wherever. We've got to do a better job of not only nurturing those folks but keeping them here. So, what does a chamber do for its members to help along those lines? What does a chamber provide for members?
Yeah, I think leadership matters. Leadership in our community, and we're having a meeting coming up in the next 30 days, bringing leaders together throughout Pierce County, and so we can talk about taxes and other things that impede. Capital is a big piece, but if leadership in this community is focused on growing those jobs, growing entrepreneurs, growing our businesses, I truly believe that's going to be a piece that's going to matter. You can go to Seattle, you can go to Bellevue. Do they care that you're there? And I think down here we care that our businesses grow and stay here.
So how do we do a better job of getting the word out?
I've had this discussion with the county executive, and they're working on things, and I think that's, if we can come together and do that, is where we need to be. And we are talking about some promotional things. Do we get on the air? Do we do some banners? Do we do some billboards? Not electronic billboards. Let's not bring that up. But I think one thing we can do as Pierce County leaders and communities, we can come together like no other community in this state, and that's an opportunity. And then we can start working on those impediments that are in front of businesses.
Now, are you working together? We talked about economic development a little bit. We're working with the Tacoma-Pierce County Economic Development Board, and then there's economic development in Lakewood, and then there's in Fife, and then there's in Tacoma, and we all have how are we coordinating all those efforts so we're not going off in different directions and we're having a synergy between those folks? What kind of effort is being done there?
Absolutely, and we actually meet monthly, all those groups, and for that exact same purpose. We want to make sure people understand the differences. What does the chamber do versus Economic Development Board? There's clear, distinct differences, but people might not just see it. So we're really trying to work hard to define those and make sure people understand. Because Economic Development Board feeds my work on the political action side. The knowledge, the data that they bring helps me educate elected officials in terms of here's the data to support what we've been talking about. So it's critical, those linkages.
So we're talking with Tom Pierson, who's the president of the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber. What are some of the benefits of being a member of the chamber?
Yeah, our benefits, and we've got we actually put more into members. From a dollar standpoint, we spend more money on a member than they usually write a check to us, and that's not a good business model, but that's kind of how it works. The benefit is business to business. There's some great networking. Our chamber members want to do business with other chamber members to the best that they can, and so there's a huge piece of networking. But networking is not just unique to chambers. I think the government advocacy standpoint that we do is a big piece. I think the communication we have electeds. I have businesses that come to me and say, hey, we've got a problem with the sidewalk. How do we fix that? Well, we don't fix that, but we know exactly who to get you in contact with. So you don't need to call City Hall, being put on hold, get bounced around. We know who those folks are, so we figure you're doing business. We want you doing business. We want to make that time period quicker for you.
Now, are you still offering benefit opportunities for, healthcare benefits, dental, those kinds of things for the members?
Absolutely. Yeah, we try to, I get probably 5 phone calls a day from people trying to sell me stuff to help my members. But the reality is we do have a great healthcare benefit program right now. We are always trying to make it better. Anything that, on the insurance side, it's, the group rates from a small business, it's through the roof in terms of those expenses. So we have a group rate that helps bring that down.
So could the cost of membership offset those insurance costs?
I think in a month it would offset that cost.
Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, what are the programs and what do they do for the community? Like the BIA, the TAN, DOTG, RAMP? What are those?
So yeah, I mean, we could spend all day talking about different programs, but a couple of those are, so that you mentioned, the BIA, Business Improvement Area. We have the contract to manage 80 city blocks downtown Tacoma. So if you think back to when we had lots of problems in Tacoma, today, I can't say that today we don't have any problems, but we do the security, we do cleanup, and we help make sure it's a nice place for people to come do business at.
Well, somebody that's grown up in this area, believe me, used to not be able to walk downtown, and now you can feel safe walking downtown any time of the night, day or night.
Absolutely. Downtown on the go, we're working on focus on getting folks out of their cars, looking at different ways of transportation. Parking's a huge piece for business located downtown Tacoma. So how do we mitigate that and getting people out of their cars?
Do you think we're ever going to get to the point where the city's not going to charge for parking anymore?
It's gone. Let's not go into that. I spent 4 months on that committee. I don't even want to go there on that one.
Yeah, it's that and B&O tax. Good luck with those two. But
yeah, what is a TAN? What's that? What's
TAN? TAN is our it's our Angel Network. Tacoma Angel Network. And so it's a huge piece of, we have a lot of dollars in Tacoma. And so how do we get access to those for businesses that are trying to build capital? And this was a way to show we do have demand down here in Tacoma-Pierce County.
And so those people will help you if you have a great business idea. You'll help from the chamber's perspective, get in front of those businesses to show off your idea and see if it is a viable business opportunity to get funded, and then an angel network will help you with that business. Or if it's not, what can they do to help you improve that, so that maybe next time you come up before them, you'll be have a successful opportunity to get funded. Is that right?
You said it better than I could have. So great job.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Okay. So if we're talking about memberships and so forth, and you've got different kinds of members, any specialties? You deal with restaurants, you deal with technology, construction. What kind of benefits can a restaurant member get from being a part of the chamber?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, restaurants is a great fit. I mean, everybody's got to eat, plenty of luncheons. But, there's also a lot of opportunities for catering, and a lot of our restaurants are doing catering. I was just at a luncheon yesterday with about 200 folks at it. So, I mean, there's some other ways besides just coming there for lunch and to get out there. It's coming to a lot of meetings and doing conferences and things like that. But there's also opportunities. I mean, we're trying to bring people in Tacoma into our area, looking tap into T-Town. I'm sure.
What is that?
You guys don't have a team yet?
What?
Yeah.
We're going. Apparently, that's your answer, my friend.
Tap into T-Town. It's a homegrown event, and we just had these folks come to our luncheon and tell our members a little bit about it. But it's basically, if you remember the scavenger hunt. Maybe you're in college, did scavenger hunt. Not quite the same, but.
Is there beer involved?
Well, not.
There's a tap involved.
There's a tap involved.
Okay.
So but it's still a family event.
Okay.
I mean, you could probably find a couple beers around it, but it's really going out and it's educated. It's going to our local businesses, but it's also understanding. There's people that go and participate. It's an annual event, and they learn things about Tacoma that they didn't know. So you go to different places, learn things. You're taking a picture, you're blogging or sticking it up on your Facebook and other things. But it's just a fun way to get around the community and support businesses. I think they put in about $60,000 is what they expect people to actually write checks into the community in that 1 6-hour block.
So how do you find out more information about this tap into T-Town?
Google tap into T-Town and you'll find it. I think it.
The Google.
Yeah. So now, how is a chamber going to? And we just had this conversation a bit. How does a chamber offer more benefits than Google? I mean, we talked about this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my big piece is that chamber models I think is really broke, and the question that I always force into our staff and our organization is what can you get out of the chamber that you can't get on Google?
Let's why don't we take a quick break and come back and jump right into that, because I think we're at a point where
that could make a couple of minutes.
Yeah, the people are more they're not joiners anymore. So
okay, well, I'm Darrel Bowman,
and I'm Mel West,
and we're here.
Listening to Clay 1180.
CloudSway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. CloudSway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. CloudSway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. CloudSway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
Few things say more about your business than the quality of the photos in your ads and on your website. Corporate photographer Rick Dom specializes in custom photography for discriminating corporations around the world and right here in Tacoma. Rick's photos have graced the pages of Forbes, Fortune, Barron's, the Wall Street Journal, and the marketing materials of a host of great American companies. Companies like yours. See what Rick Dom's photography can do for your business on the web at rickdoms.com. RICKDAHMS.com.
AimBiz.com brings you the life of a business website. The majority of business websites can't be found by search engines, so their owners lose customers and money. An AIM business website wins new customers on Google and Facebook. Imagine your website with great content management, an integrated blog, clean designs, and clear messages. To top it off, at aimbiz.com, you get a free website design mock-up before you ever spend a dime. For more information, go to aimbiz.com. That's AIMBIZ.com.
Tacoma's waterfront. A unique local asset providing recreational opportunities, jobs to support the local economy, and a safe haven for marine wildlife. The Tacoma Waterfront Association is dedicated to promoting Tacoma's waterfront. Join the TWA at its popular monthly meeting to learn more about Tacoma's waterfront and how you can be a part of making it great. Join the TWA on the second Wednesday of each month from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Center for Urban Waters to be a part of the community strength that's making a difference for Tacoma's greatest asset. It's waterfront. For more info, visit TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org. That's TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org.
In Pierce County, 17% of residents are food insecure. That's 1 in 6 people who are unsure where their next meal is coming from. Someone you know is going hungry. What can you do about it? Help support Fish Food Banks of Pierce County. For every dollar received, Fish's 8 food bank locations can distribute $7 worth of food to families in need. To learn more about stopping hunger here in Pierce County, go to fishfoodbanks.org. That's fishfoodbanks.org.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Darrel Bowman.
And I'm Mel West.
And you're listening to BizTechTalk on 1180 Clay every Tuesday noon to 1. Hey, we're here with Tom Pierson, President and CEO of the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber of Commerce. And Tom is talking to us about the things that the Chamber offers. And just went to break while we were talking about Google and how the Chamber is a little different, offers much more opportunity than just Googling information. What can the Chamber do that Google can't?
Absolutely. So if you look at one of our core competencies, which is networking referrals. Great. I mean, we do some great events, and Savannah, who does that, does a great job. But, reality is you can find networking events at a ton of different places. So I think it really comes back to our connections with government, and I mean that in terms of, how do we connect our businesses into the needs they have with government, or being the voice for business. And I truly believe the voice for business is what puts us apart.
And so when you say the voice for business, we're talking, like I have a problem. Let's say I've got I'm having a model. We had a thing here just a few minutes ago about a company that, did you have a little bit of effort in that where they changed the laws and so forth? Is that the kind of effort we're talking about?
Absolutely. I mean, I had a business that was doing a remodel, and they were set off the side of off the sidewalk a ways, and the government wanted them to do a new awning, wanted to do some other stuff, and it just didn't make sense. People were, the idea was that they're going to have to they were covering an awning over a sidewalk, which was the ordinance. They weren't near the sidewalk, so why would they need to do the awning? And so working through that process. I mean, it's things like that seem logical to the rest of us, but because it's in code and ordinances, it doesn't make it that.
So that's what
people
really bogs businesses down.
Is trying to get through some of the minutia and get past that and being helpful to say, yeah, we be the advocate not only at the state level, the local level, but national level as well.
Right, and being that go-between.
Oh, fantastic. So we have ways to get involved. We've talked about, from a membership perspective and so forth. How does somebody, get involved in their community? Is it all about volunteering? Is it about just paying to be a member and then so forth? Walk us through the process.
Well, we always like checks.
Everybody wants.
But we probably have about a little bit over 200 volunteers that help us out in terms of the things that we do. We couldn't do the things that we do without our volunteers. So you can volunteer to help at our events. You can volunteer to come research, come to our city hall meetings. We've got committees on different projects, and it could be we have a committee on military affairs. We have committees on a lot of different things that are different aspects in the community. We're working on manufacturing and industrial committee to really focus on that group. We did shoreline management plan. It really showed us that we needed a larger group in the manufacturing side.
We talked about some of the things about downtown development and so forth. Now, I know that they're downtown. They're talking about a master EIS. And how is the Chamber involved in that? You know what I'm talking about? The environmental impact statement is going to be able to cover a huge, broad swath of downtown so that when a business comes in to do some development or whatever, they don't have to go through that process. It's already been done.
Yeah, I've seen other communities do this, and I know we've done it here before, but it really helps out in terms of saving time and money for businesses, more of the time than the money. But and so we're involved in those meetings. We have staff that go to that, and we then plug in other businesses that are locally to make sure that our business interests are covered within that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, you talked a little bit about a vet program before the show and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that? It's something near and dear to Darrel and I's heart.
Absolutely. We all know that we have a ton of vets that are coming out of the military. And not only do we have a lot of vets in our community, but they're coming out of the military, and they have great skill set, as you let in with your program. But how do we transfer that skill set into the private sector? And we have private sector folks who might have been in the military before who want to hire these folks. And so we're really setting up a one-stop shop, and it might be electronic one-stop shop. There's some people that are doing some great things for our vets, but how do we get that transition piece? If I'm looking for a vet, where do I go?
Right.
And Darrel might know, you guys might know, but the average person out there probably doesn't know. And so we want to really have a infrastructure there so everybody can come to the table, so to speak.
So is it a one-stop hub for Pierce County?
One stop for Pierce County, and it's educational. I mean, some of these folks might need a Microsoft certification, but they know how to do it, so they just need to figure out, do they go to TCC, to Bates, where do they
You
need
got
to go?
6 different opportunities plus universities as well.
Yeah.
We need something like that to have a clearinghouse, so to speak. We're very tied to our local military community and our retired citizens and so forth. And there are many, many different places that they can go. And if we can have one spot where we can say, hey, this is where I'm going, and you could point us in a direction, that would be very beneficial and helpful.
Yeah, I think the number is about 600 people a month are coming out of the military here locally.
Well, that's adding to the job force and to the unemployed. So we really need to get those folks employed. And thank gosh that the economy's starting to tick up a little bit. I'm seeing some progress there, and people are starting to invest in technology. They're changing their businesses. They're investing in their businesses, and they're seeing some growth. It's all how would I call it? Cautiously optimistic. Would that be a good way to say that, Mel?
Yeah, I think so. Tom, you were talking a little bit about networking and opportunities for people to come together. Can you tell us a little bit about some upcoming networking opportunities? I think you got a fundraiser coming up.
Well, we do have a fundraiser, so to speak. It's not a political fundraiser, but we have golf tournament. It's a great networking, but it's a great thing for us to build up some dollars for the chamber to do a lot of this great work that we've been talking about. So that's May 31st. We also have an after hours where we're highlighting local architect BLRB, and that is coming up this Thursday. And I encourage any business to come to any of our events, even if they're not a member. Come check us out.
Every was it third Thursday of the month?
Third Thursday of the month, we highlight a different business, and it's 5 to 7 o'clock. But go to our website.
And it's free.
It is free.
Yeah, a little bit of wine, social, a little beer, whatever, and actually get a chance to mingle and meet with folks and understand what they're doing and maybe make some connections.
Absolutely. And I always like to say, when business is good, life is good.
Oh, that's all.
That's great.
That is true, because the more we make, the better we feel. And we're about ready to wrap this up here in a few minutes. So we want to say thank you very much for joining us, and we do appreciate the time you take out of your day to tell us all about the chamber and what the chamber is doing. And really, it's appropriate that we learned about the Veterans Program because, like I said at the beginning of the show, and Mel and I talk about every week, is whatever we can do to get people looking for veteran-owned businesses and to hiring our veterans. We're out there supporting that effort in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and it's going to be great to continue this discussion this evening from 4:30 to 6 at the Garfield Bookstore in Parkland.
Yeah, get to ask all the questions personally.
Yeah, so if you've got questions out there, please join us down there at the PLU Bookstore and join us, Tom. It's going to be great to have you. So thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Appreciate your guys. You guys are phenomenal. Appreciate the work that you guys do.
Oh, I appreciate that. So one last thing. When people want to get in touch with the Chamber of Commerce and they want to become a member, how do they get involved? I mean, what is it? Where do they go to? Who do they call?
Yeah, I think the best way to do is just go to our website, tacomachamber.org. And, you can actually sign up right there on our website. But all our contacts, you want to talk to me, my email, my phone number is right on our website. Go there, get a hold of us, and we'd be happy to call you. Otherwise, call me at 253-627-2175.
Okay, fantastic. Well, hey, it's been really great having everybody here today. And again, look for whatever you can do out there to hire vets. And Mel and I want to say thank you. And you want to close out, Mel?
Well, yeah, I do. But next week we're going to be talking about geofencing.
Oh, geofencing. That's right. How you can include and exclude people in your company, and you can find people. It's very high tech. And Telecom Broadcasters Inc. is going to be talking with 10 and 2. So look for us next week on Clay 1180.
And I'm Mel West.
And I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional. See you next week.
CloudSway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. CloudSway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. CloudSway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. CloudSway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
Hi, Georgia. I heard the pipes burst in your office and you have to rebuild everything. Are you able to take care of business?
Bob, the flood was a minor hiccup. We are rebuilding, but thanks to our partnership with MyNetworkCompany.com and their office in an Icon Cloud solution, we work from anywhere at any time. With access to all of our applications and customer data, I never have to worry about expensive backups, hardware, or complicated servers. We are more productive now than ever. Plus, we turned our capital IT purchases into monthly operating expenses with a worry-free IT guarantee in the process. I recommend you call MyNetworkCompany.com today.
In today's economy, doing more with less has become the standard. Feeling overwhelmed or out of control does not have to be part of that standard. If you are looking for improved profitability and better teamwork, West Business Concepts' expertise in sales, organizational development, and finance offers real-world solutions today. West Business Concepts helps you develop clarity and focus on who matters most. Gain an edge over your competition. Visit westbusinessconcepts.com today.